Hello everyone, Gazam Utkarsh, and I welcome you all to this session on data cleaning with SQL scripts. So guys, let's have a look at the agenda for this session. The agenda for this session includes understanding the different data cleaning functions that we have in SQL. Essentially, we'll be discussing about functions such as trim, replace, coalesce, cast slash convert, and we'll be looking at some other data cleaning functions. So guys, till the previous session, we have discussed how to import and export data from Excel and SQL, right? So let's get started with this topic. So first we'll be, let's say, implementing these functions in MySQL, and then we'll be implementing them in the Postgre as well. So let's switch to the workbench window, SQL workbench window. So guys, over here we are in the SQL workbench. So we'll be discussing these functions, right? We'll be discussing functions such as, let's say, some string-based functions. So first of all, we'll be starting with upper, lower. Likewise, we have L case and U case, the alternative equivalent. Then we can discuss, let's say, functions such as trim, then position. Then we'll be discussing functions such as replace. Then we have coalesce. All right, and then we have some, let's say, string-based functions such as left, right, and mid. So these are the functions that we'll be discussing. And let's say there are a couple of other functions that we can consider as well. So let's get started. So guys, these are essentially functions for data cleaning and transformation as far as, let's say, some SQL data is concerned. So why do we need them? At times we may need to apply certain transformations depending upon the business requirements. And for the same time, let's say for data cleaning as well, these functions are heavily used. So let's talk about these functions. So we'll get started with upper, lower, and then we have L case and U case, right? So as the name sounds, let's say upper and U case convert string into uppercase, and lower and L case convert string into lowercase. So I'll give you an example. Suppose over here I'm having select, if I write Google, if I were to simply write Google, this is how it will look. All right, this is how it looks. Maybe let's say organization name. This is the organization name. This is how it looks. But now I want to display it in completely in upper. All right, so upper of Google. So now if I were to display this as organization in upper, so let me run this. So guys, this is the organization in upper. Likewise, if I use U case, so I'll end up getting I'll be getting the same result even over here. So guys, this is what I'm getting. So this is how we can use it. So this is organization upper one. All right, so let me rerun this. So guys, over here I'm getting organization, organization upper, and organization upper one. Likewise, I can write select, maybe I want to convert something to lowercase. So over here I'll be writing, let me write maybe OpenAI. All right, and OpenAI I'm writing it in uppercase. OpenAI is in uppercase, and this is nothing but, let's say, this is again organization, and then lower of OpenAI, and then as organization lower, and I can copy paste this, and instead of lower over here I'll be using the function L case. So upper is equivalent to U case and lower is equivalent to L case, right? So this is organization lower one. So if I were to run this, just observe the results that we are getting. So over here, see OpenAI, this is in uppercase. This because I'm using the lower function, so let's say it is returning the string in the lowercase, and even OpenAI, the L case function is returning the string in the lowercase. So these are very basic functions, let's say, to convert strings into uppercase and lowercase. Next, we'll move to the next set of functions. So over here we have trim. All right, so why do we use trim? So it is used to remove extra spaces from both ends. So from both ends of the string, it will remove extra spaces, right? So let's see how does it work. So first of all, I'll be writing a string, and we'll check its length as well. So when it comes to, let's say, trim, we also have the function length. So what does length return? So it simply returns the length of the string. All right, so these are the functions that we'll be using first of all. So we have length and trim. So let's see, over here if I write, maybe I'm writing a string, let's call this data science. And because I've passed extra spaces, right, I've passed the extra spaces as maybe this is my data, or this is my let's call text. This is the text one, this is text one, and then I want to display length of text one. So length of text one would simply be the length of data science, and we do have extra spaces in between and in middle as well. So the function is length. All right, this is length. So let's see, the word data science, right, it contains 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 characters, and then space, so that makes it 12 plus 2 extra space, so 14. So maybe I'm adding more spaces. All right, I'm adding more spaces. Let's check its length, and then we'll trim it, and then we'll check its length again. So if I were to run this, this is what I'm getting. See, the length is 17. There are 17 characters. Why? Because data science, the length is 11. 4 plus 7 is 11, and then 12, and then 2 or 3 extra spaces over here, right? So that makes it 17. So now if I were to apply, let's say, the trim. So if I were to use trim over here, and then we'll check its length. So length of trim of data science means, trim means remove extra spaces from both the ends. So length, this is length of text after trim, right? So this is after trim. Let's check this. So guys, now the length is 13. Over here now the length is 13. All right, because all the extra spaces have been removed. So clearly we can see the extra spaces will be removed, but not the spaces in between. So guys, this is how we can use, let's say, the length and the trim function. So we have length and trim. Next we have the position and then replace. Position returns the index position starting from 1. So when we talk about position and replace, let's check this. Over here if I were to write select so when we talk about position, so suppose if I'm writing position of, I want to know what is present at position 3, or maybe let's say I'm giving position 8. Okay, for position I have to write like this. I want to know what is the position of CE in data science. Let's see the result. So CE is present at, and this is the position. All right, this is the position that we have. So CE is present at index 11. How? So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So CE is starting from the index 11. So likewise for the same string I can check for the index of other characters. So to, let's say, make this more clear, so instead of CE over here, what if I want to write it D? So D is present at position 1. All right, the position of D is 1. Likewise the position of capital S, what is the position of capital S? It is 6. All right, so likewise, now what if there is a character which is repeat? So if I check for A is present over here, A is present over here, so it is going to return the first index. All right, so returns position of first index from left. We'll check this. So for A I'm getting 2, for A I'm getting 2, right? Now if I want position of second index, then what can be done? So position of A in data science, this returns position of first index from left. So if this is returning the position of first index, right? So after 2, maybe I need to search. I need to search this after 2, right? So maybe I need to write, if I want to search for the second A, so maybe I can give a space, so that now it is clear that after A there's a space. So this returns the position of second index from the left. This is the position of second index, right? This is the second index from the left. All right, so over here we are getting 4. So clearly we have seen how to use the position. So what does position works? It returns position of string from the left. And if the position, let's say if the character is not found, maybe I'm checking for Z. So Z is not found, right? So the position is 0. Return 0 if character is not found. All right. If the character is not found, it is going to return 0. Next, let's check for. Next, we can check this for. Okay. So the position is done. Next, we'll look at replace. So we have to look at the position and replace. So position we have seen. Next, we'll check for the replace. So as far as the replace is concerned, what is the, let's say, purpose of replace? So replaces a part of string with another substring. Replaces a part of string with another string. That is the whole purpose of using the replace. Alright, so the part could be the entire string as well. So let's see. So over here I can show you example. Select replace. Maybe I want to replace let's say data science and analysis. Now instead of let's say data science and analysis, over here I want to replace data science with SQL. All right, so wherever data science is written, it will be replaced with SQL. So maybe I can write replace 1. So as we can see, now we are getting SQL analysis. Now what if the string has multiple replacements? So let's check. Suppose I want to replace A. I want to replace all AA with maybe ZZ with space. Okay, just ZZ. Meaningless, but let's just check. Alright, so as we can see, all the A characters have been replaced with Z. Alright, A has been replaced with double Z. So that is how it can be used. That is how we are meant to use the replace function over here. Let's check another example. Over here I can write maybe select replace, and in the replace I can pass what if what we are replacing is not found. All right, what we are replacing is not found. So maybe I can write let's say SQL joins. So in the SQL joins and maybe subqueries, I want to replace union with maybe views. All right, let's check this if this works. And what is the output? So subqueries, joins and unions, right? So if the replacement string is not found, so no change in the original string. No change in the original string, let's say, will be allowed if the original string is, let's say, original substring is not found. So let me write this over here. Now over here we have seen, let's say it returns position of string from the left. If the string is not found, position returns 0. All right, we have seen this. If the string is not found, the position returns 0. And if we talk about replace, so this is the first point. All right, then the second point is if the part of string, right, if the part of string is not in original string, the original string is returned. All right, it returns the original string. So guys, now we have seen how to use position and replace. We have seen how to use length and trim. We have seen how to use upper, lower, L case and U case. Next, we can move on to the next set of functions. So we have covered position, replace, then length and trim, and okay, so these functions we have covered. Next, we'll talk about left, right, and mid, and then we'll move on to the coolies. So we do have other functions as well which we can look into. So first, let's talk about left, right, and mid. Now they are, let's say, one of the most important functions as far as SQL string functions are concerned. So the next set of functions that we have over here is fourth, we need to talk about left, right, and mid. So we'll be understanding this function. So let's understand this. As far as the left function is concerned, right? So it returns n number of characters from the left of the string. It returns n number of characters from the left of the string. Now when we talk about right, so it returns n number of characters from the right of the string. So what is the syntax? The syntax that we have over here is string and n, and even over here the syntax is string and n. Alright, so this is how, let's say, we can use the left, right, and the mid function. So as far as the mid function is concerned, over here I need to pass a string, and over here I need to pass the string, and then I need to pass, let's say, starting index, and n is the number of characters. So it returns n characters from the starting index of the string. All right, so let's consider a few examples. Suppose over here I'm having a date based data. So maybe I have something like 2025. All right, maybe 04 and 18. So this is my data, as let's call this date 1. I'm calling it date 1. All right, so we can see this is my date 1. Now what if I just want to extract the year? So how can we extract the year? I'm using left, and this is my date 2025. So if I extract 4 characters from the left, this would return the year. All right, so 2025, maybe 04 and then 18. From this, what do I want to extract as a year? I want to extract the first 4 characters from the left. So now if I execute this, I do get to see year. Now what if, so this is, what is the format that I've used over here? The format used is YYYY Now what if I wish to extract, let's say, the day part? So how do I extract the day part? So again I can write right, and then maybe 2025, then 04 and 18. And how many characters from the right do I need? I need 2 characters. I simply need 2 characters, right? So if I were to execute this, see, this is what I'm getting, and this is simply the day. So we have extracted year, we have extracted the day. Now what we are left with, we need to extract the month, right? So how can we extract the month? So for month we need to extract it using the mid function. So we have to figure out how many characters do we need. So from middle we need 2 characters, but starting from character number 6. So from 6 we need 2 characters. So this is where I can use mid. So mid of 2025 and then 04 and then 18. So and then starting from 6 I need 2 characters. So 2025 is 4 characters, hyphen is 5th character, 6th character is 0, and then from 6 I need 2 characters. So this would be my month. This would act as the month, right? So let's check this. So guys, we have successfully extracted, let's say, the date. We have extracted the year, the month, and the day from the given date. So irrespective of the format, this approach we can utilize. So this is, let's say, is highly used maybe to parse a part of the string. All right, to extract a part of the string, left, right, and mid functions are highly used. Maybe it can be used to separate the first name and the last name, or even the middle name, right? So these are the functions which we can utilize. The next set of functions that we have is, so we have discussed, let's say, upper L case, let's say uppercase, lowercase, length, trim, position, replace. Then we have covered left, right, mid, and mid. Next we have 2 functions, let's say coalesce and cast. So let's talk about the coalesce function. So coalesce, let's say, returns the first, it returns the first non-null value from the let's say parameters first. It returns the first non-null value. So there are multiple examples. Suppose if I write select, if I write 1020, so what is it going to return? It is going to return okay, Colis does not exist. Yes, now let's run this. So it returns, what does it returns? It returns first non-null values. All right, so it is simply going to return the first non-null values. Likewise, if I were to write like this, and then 5 and maybe 8, so now what will it return? Again, it is going to return the first non-null value. So what is the first non-null value that we have over here? It is 5. All right. So maybe what else can be done? Suppose we have a null value, right? So I can replace it with some other value. So it can also be treated like this. Suppose we have a table where we have some columns and the table data contains null values. So the first value will be the column name, and if it contains null, so the second parameter would be used. If the second parameter also is null, we can use the third parameter and so on. So let's say, why do we use Colis? It returns the first non-null value from the parameters passed. So we can say that it is used to handle missing values in SQL. All right, it is simply used to handle the missing values in SQL. So this is how we have utilized Colis, and let's say this is how the Colis works. Next we have the cast function. So why do we need the cast function? It is used to, let's say, it changes the data type. It changes the data type of the let's say the data passed. So I'll show you over here. I can write select see 1 2 3 4. If I write it like this, so currently this is a clearly this is a string, right? It can be considered as varchar, char, or maybe even text. So this is some text one. All right, so now if I want to convert this text one to integer, so what do I write? 1 2 3 4 as unsigned, right? So this is let's say casted to numeric or casted to integer. Let's run this. So guys, this 1 2 3 4 is text. Now this 1 2 3 4 over here is numeric. So this is how we can use cast function. So first we have to pass the data type. We have to pass the data that needs to be for which we need to change the data type, and then as and after as we have to mention the data type into which it needs to be transformed. All right, so over here we have 1 2 3 4, and I'm casting it as unsigned. All right, over here I'm casting it as unsigned. So this is how, let's say, the cast function works. So guys, so far we have seen let's say a couple of these functions we have implemented in MySQL. Now let's implement these functions in Postgre. So I'm switching to the Postgre window. So guys, over here we are in the Postgre. So let's run some text first. So over here I'll be simply writing hello. All right, so guys, this is what we have. Now let's start with these functions. So the first set of functions that we have is upper and lower. So as the name sounds, we can convert let's say data into uppercase and lowercase using these functions. So suppose my string is maybe as simple as hello, and I need to convert it into uppercase, right? So hello, and then I can mention into upper, and then maybe I can write lower hello, I can mention into lower. So the original data is different, and what we're utilizing is different. All right, okay, as of now let's just execute this part. So hello and hello, I'm converting the hello to uppercase. Let's run this. So if I were to run this, see, hello is converted into uppercase, and let's call this text one, and this is text one into upper. So this is what we have. Likewise, I can write the same thing for the lowercase. So this is entirely hello, this is in uppercase, this is text 2, and then I'll be converting it into lowercase. So this is text 2 into lower. All right, so guys, this is what we have. This is what we have. Okay, this would be lower. So guys, as we can see, the text2 has been converted into lowercase, right? So this is the first set of functions that we have. Next we have trim, replace, cast, and position. So cast, maybe we can look in a different set. All right, so besides cast, we have trim, replace, and position. So let's talk about trim. So if you talk about trim, right, so we have discussed the application. So trim is used to remove extra space. So again, I'll be writing something as let's say SQL joins and maybe subqueries, but I also want to give some extra space. All right, so some extra space in the beginning and at the end. So let's call this text1, and then maybe I can use trim. So for text1, if I were to check the length, so what would I get as text1 length? So guys, the length over here is 26 characters, but now if I were to apply trim, then the equation would change. So trim removes the extra space from both the ends, right? So this is text1 trimmed, and then this is length of trimmed text1, then trimmed length. So guys, as we can see, now the length is 21. So trim only removes the extra space from both the ends, not from between. All right, it does not remove extra space from between. Next we have let's say replace. So select replace, maybe I can replace hello, the O I want to replace with Z. All right, O I'm replacing with Z. So if I were to execute this, so guys, as we can see, this is how the replace works. Next I'll show you how to use the cast. So over here I'm writing, let's say cast maybe 1 2 3 4 as integer, and I'll write the original string as well. So the original string is 1 2 3 4. All right, so this is after cast, and this is the original string. So guys, this is how, let's say, cast converts the data from string to integer, means we can provide the data type that we need. So we have seen replace, we have seen cast, and then let's say position. So I need to find the position of maybe in the SQL joins, this is my string, and I need to find the position of maybe joins, right? So where is joins present over here? Let's see, joins is present at position 5, right? So we have seen this. Next we have cast and left right. Again, I'll use the same example which we have used in SQL workbench. So this will also work over here. So we don't have mid function as far as the Postgre is concerned. So I'll be just removing the mid part, and the rest would work. Let's see. So guys, from the date we have extracted the year and day, right? So exactly following the same pattern. And next we have so position, replace, left right we have seen. Next we have the cast we have seen. Next we have the coulisse. So let's have a look at the coulisse. So guys, for coulisse I have created this table. This is the table that we have, right? So we have table items where we have serial, ID is serial, product is varchar, price is numeric, and the discount is numeric. These are the values that I'm inserting. So I'll show you the data. So the data looks like this. Select star from items. So guys, this is the data that we have. Let's understand the coulisse. So suppose I want to extract price into price minus discount as the net price. So this is what we have. This is product wise net price, right? So I'll show you simple examples of coulisse. So coulisse returns first non-null value. All right, so it is simply going to return the first non-null value. So the first non-null value that we have over here is this. So it is 5. Now what is the first non-null value over here? It is 2. Now in this, see, when we are using this, I'm getting a null value, right? I'm getting a null value. So to handle this null, so I'm passing discount, let's say 0. So price minus coolies discount. So in case the discount happens to be null, it will, if the first non-null value that it takes over here is 0. So now this is handled. All right, now we are not getting any null values. So guys, this is how we can let's say implement the coolies function. So guys, that brings us to the end of this session. So in this session we have discussed the different data cleaning functions. So in the next session we'll moving on to the datetime functions in SQL and PostgreSQL. Thank you.